Good evening, race fans, and welcome to a brand new season. This is Wednesday Cup Season 20, and we're kicking it off at the wild, the tight, the unforgiving Mills Metro Park Raceway. It's an R-Factor classic, but it's here on Assetto Corsa. Narrow, technical, and absolutely relentless. No runoff, no forgiveness, and nowhere to hide. Tonight, we're racing for the Season 20 in the Gemini Hill Climb cars. Light, twitchy, and about as stable as a shopping trolley downhill. Get it right, and you're a hero. Get it wrong, and you're parked up faster than you can say, who put that wall there? Sound one is about to drop. Nerves are jingling. Season 20 is officially underway. Season, same chaos. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on, because this is Wednesday Cup, and it's live from Metro Park Raceway on Simsational TV.
All right.
And,
there we go. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out when you were done. There you go. First commentary of the year, ladies and gentlemen. We're a bit rusty. But how are you, Zach?
Very good, Lindsay. Good to have you in the commentary box. I'm Zach O'Reilly, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, out there in viewership land. Lindsay Muddle is next to us here in this beautiful, beautiful scenic route that we have at Mills Metro Park here tonight. And I'll tell you what, with all of this cracking on in the foreground, you can see the timing towers there, Lindsay. It is very, very tight in the competitors, and so is the catering, because we've been given chips and cheese. That's it. Nothing else. No drinks, no nothing. We're a bit short-strawed here, Lindsay.
Yeah, we are just a little bit here, Zacho, but I'm sure we'll suffice. I guess all of the food was eaten over the course of New Year's, which does tend to happen, especially when you have Rabs getting in here, ruffling through all the food, getting the last of the supply. But we are here, and yeah, it's looking like a great night ahead of us. But why don't we go ahead and take a look at what we're dealing with for our track this afternoon. So we are here at the Mills Metro Park, and it is 15 corners around this place over the course of 4.1 kilometres. And as well, for the format, it is just the normal for the Wednesday Cup. So an 8-minute qualifying ahead of us with a 15-minute race 1, 16-minute race 2 with a top 10 reverse, and then a 17-minute race 3 with a 15-place reverse grid. Air temp out there is 28 degrees, and the track is very hot, sitting at 39. And the fast lap in practice was set by the man at P2 in our current practice, with Benny Hines topping it with a 1 minute 14.007. So he's got James Bond in his lap time, ladies and gentlemen. But Zach, I know that we've called this track together before. How do you feel about this racing circuit?
It's going to be interesting, Lindsay, because when you've got a little bit of everything, you've got long, flowing, sweeping corners, and then you've got tight little hairpins and a couple of chicanes involved. It's got a bit of everything. So with these boyos racing around tonight, I would assume that there would be some tentative braking manoeuvres happening. The most certain one will definitely be down that back straight, as you can see on the track map there, on the top of the track map. It's very, very tight. It's sort of up, down, hilly, and into a downhill braking zone into there. So see how these boys can go. And we've got obviously 26 cars on the grid. So great showing here in these Geminis. And that is exactly what we're going on. We'll go and check out what the car specs of those are too, because they're absolute barnstormers. I can give you the hot tip. They are an Opel Kadett in Germany, but here they're a Gemini. They got 294 horsepower. 280 newton meters of torque and only 810 kilos. They weigh nothing. They're bloody basically tins with wheels and an engine underneath and some aero. And top speed, they get up to about 270 odd, 220 plus though, and 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. So they are flying around any track where you go for in this season. And the calendar is looking very, very nice indeed, Lindsay, for this season.
And I would pull it up, but to be honest, I did have some technical difficulties. And I couldn't get it up in time.
Well, yeah, well, that's what she said, I've heard. But anyway, we keep pressing on here. We're going to get into it because these boyos have had plenty of time to qualify here to practice tonight. And we're about to send them in to the inaugural qualifying session of Season 20. And with this happening, they've got 47 seconds to get themselves out there and single file and wait for the pit exit to go. And then they'll be ready to... Oh, no, what's happened here? The bloody server is gone.
Oh.
The server has reset, unless Lindsay Muddle's computer's had an absolute disaster. You're still here. Not too sure why. We'll have a check out of that. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, for qualifying.
Right, and we are back down here on the track, ladies and gentlemen. Brief technical difficulties as it goes. First race of the new year, so it was never going to go all according to plan, but we're still here in the commentary box, and the drivers are now lining up once again with the brief period of time they have before they can get out of the pit lane and onto the racing surface. And Zach O'Reilly, we know that Benny Hines topped the session, but do you think he can top qualifying?
It's going to be interesting because he was not the quickest in the latest practice session. So that's going to be interesting to see if it's going his way in qualifying. And we're about to find out because they're streaming out onto the racetrack here now for it. Here is a couple of drivers that we're going to name, a couple of season regulars. Andre Elliott is there. He's warming up his tyres right now. And we've got Fabian Fitness who's taking the charge out on front. Gray Ward's in there. Benny Hines, that's the man who topped the practice session during the last 3 or 4 weeks. Have had to practice to get into it. Can he get up there? That's the question we are still waiting to answer. Is it going to be Fabian Fitness, our season reigning champion from season 19 in the TVRs? One quick customer, he says he's a bit rusty at the moment, but we'll see if that turns into race advantage in the pace department there, Lindsay. It's going to be interesting to see if this man can make it number 5 in the championship titles.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be the big question. As just a brief apologies as well. I've lost all audio when it comes to game sound, so that won't be coming through on the broadcast either. I don't know what's happened. So
I can fix it for you live. If you go up there to that little sidebar and then go to audio,
my master audio is
your master's down to 0. So there you go. He'll be able to get
I don't know why that happened.
That sometimes happens. Just AC doing AC things, Lindsay. It's round 1 of a new season. It's always going to happen. That's just
testing
typical,
me. I've never broadcasted the Wednesday Cup.
And it's your inaugural V-plates just taken away for the Wednesday Cup. But Fabian's just starting a lap, so we're going to roll on board with him here. And let's go around this Mills Metro Park. And it is a very sweeping turn 1 to approach. And it's hard braking down to second gear if you're brave, or even third for Fabian. Into the double right-hander. Into turns 2 and 3 we go. Out the other side. Brief straight session before you brake again into that downhill section. Nose the car in very, very narrow. And come out the other side, just looking pretty racy indeed, and fire it through the next sweeper, which is another left-hander. But it's uphill and then it's downhill. You've got to keep it tight through here because you'll run completely into that outside wall, flick over the chicane. No, another triple right-hander, really, left-hander, sorry. And then you've got to brake back into this one, which is a fantastic little technical corner. Get this one wrong, and that's where you can gain 2 or 3 tenths or lose it. Left-hander onto the back straight. This is where the moves will be made and set up for the racing prediction coming your way there, ladies and gentlemen, as well. But this is Fabian Fitness up into the first of the risers. Then you got a second one, and as you crest over that, you slap it down a couple of gears, get it pointed in, try not to oversteer it too much like Fabian just did, and nose it out the other side. Then you got a little chicane here to navigate before you whip it around once again to the right, and then it's the final corner, which is a very technical piece as well. Too early, you run too wide. Too late, and you've missed everything, and you'll just wash off every bit of speed on the exit. And that is a lap there by Fabian Fitness. Puts in a 15-1 to open his account there. Not too bad, but it's already going to be eclipsed very, very soon, I would say, by a couple of drivers, and it has, because there goes Benny Hines with a 15 dead. Matt Munro in third, 15-1. We've got 15-0, 15-1, 15-1, 15-1, and then we've got 14-8 from the Hackster. He's come straight in and gone bankskis, Lindsay.
Yeah, he has, and that's an absolutely sensational lap time as now Astrop goes to the top now with a 14.7. Here comes Brody Barber around to the final corner. That was a big slide off the exit there, and that'll put him into P13. Ezra Simons as well making his way around the lap concurrently as he rounds the final corner. What's his first time going to be? It's nothing good. It's only a 1:19.3 as these opening runs continue to pump in here as Jake Buttigieg's at the end of his lap. He's making his way through the final little bit of the track now as he sweeps it through these high-speed sweepers and now in towards the final corner. Is it going to be anything good? It doesn't look like it based on the lap time at the bottom of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as he crosses the line. No, I think it was just another warm-up lap, but it's John Astrop at the top of the leaderboard to kick off qualifying.
He's quick, this man, a newbie to the season, and he is genuinely flying around and putting these guys up for a big show here and to say, come and catch me. But he's been clipped straight away by Matt Munro, only by 600ths of a second as well. But he's purple in the middle sector of sector 2, so this could be interesting to see where he comes out. He's got 3 seconds before he crosses the line now. It's going to be a 14-something, and it's a 14.5 Bang goes Astrop straight into it. And here's Matt Munro now by 0.2 of a second. Andrew Ferguson here is inside the top 10, a 15.5. His best was a 15.1 in the practice session as well. And drifting it around the final corner is not going to be the quickest way around the circuit if he keeps that up. But here he is. He's just filing his way back through now into the sweeping left-hander. And I think as well, Lindsay, we've still got no audio. Maybe just check the cadence bars there as well on the OBS side. Because Hollyoaks just said we've still got no audio. But anyway.
I've got audio on my end on OBS.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Maybe turn your volume up there, big balls.
It is. It's on 0.0 dB.
Not you,
you're talking to him. I thought you were talking to me.
I'm talking to Liam Hollyoak.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, there we go. It should be... The game audio should be more than up by now, so it's on your end now. Fabian Fitness goes bang up to the top with a 14.565, Zach. That is absolutely flying, but I think that there's still probably another 2 or 3 tenths between that and the pole lap at the end of the session.
There is, because they're doing 50 deads. I can give you the hot tip, and that was very, very quick indeed. We've got audio. It's Liam Hollyoak's end because he's just lost it. So we're all in the clear there on that stuff. Technical dramas aside, it's getting technical on the circuit because it's 14.9 here for Benny Hines. He is also a very, very quick customer in the genuine speed times, but he's just not finding it here, our practice king. But he set a purple sector 1, so he's about to make me look like a right fool, I think, in the next 55 seconds time. By the time he goes over the start finish line, he's whipping that thing around. Good looking livery too is the Gorilla Mods Opal here as well. Looks nice, red, white, black, and a bit of German on the back end as well, just to give the heritage of where these cars come from. Very popular, these cars as well, Lindsay, in the finish, hill climb and rally scene back in the early 2000s, before you were born in fact. And these things are on steroids here. And what can Benny Hines do to get that time that Fabian Fitness is just set to absolutely set the benchmark here with 2 minutes to go in quali?
Yeah, that is the question now as he's making his way through the final sweeper and now towards the final corner of the circuit. So he's gone purple to the first sector, improving in the second sector as now he comes towards the line. Is it going to be provisional pole here for Ben Hines? No, it's only third. So the final sector potentially giving up on him a little bit there. It's only a 1 minute 14.618.
Geez, that was tight. And then it's been bang pipped by the Hackster again. Wowee, this man's on the charge. Look at that livery. You can't miss him. The Lyrical Gangster's also involved here too. So he's coming up, and it's been pipped on the Hackster by the Corks. The controller man himself, he has come straight in. That is beautiful, beautiful driving there from the big man. He is up there in the thick of it. Right now is Tommy Corks. Remo Grant still in 13th. He's trying to get himself inside the top 10 at least here at the moment. Couple of little micro sectors there to go, but we've only got a minute and change here in qualifying, and there it is just starting to get tight. Matt Munro's on a lap here at the moment. Nothing in the grandstand sort of side of things for him in best, but he is going to go around for one more time. He'll get it out there. That's fine. But now it is unbelievably close at the top. 14.4, 14.4, 14.5, and another 5, and then a couple of 14.6s and a 7. All the top 7 there, only split by 0.3 of a second here with 36 seconds to go. This is on like Donkey Kong here for Fabian. If he can navigate this traffic here, it's going to be a bit of a dividend for him, but he's just getting held up at the last minute. Not the ideal place for him to be. These boys are trying to set their own fast lap times. I think Fabian's done. Oh, sent it up the inside. Holy mackerel, that was convenient for him.
Oh, no!
And he's got turned around as well, just tapped in the rear end. Goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department. That is not how you go. Qualifying is done. It is out. It is over. And I'm telling you, these boys right now are thinking about who's going to top that time from Tommy Corks.
Yeah, and I think Tommy's going for one more. He's crossed the line with 10 seconds to go. So this is now going to be the final person on a lap in this qualifying session. No, he's celebrating. Look at him go. He's drifting. He knows that he's got it because the Hackster's crossed the line. He's done. Fitness is done, but Astrop's still on a lap, but not improving through the first sector. So I think that Tommy Corks has really managed to nail this one in early. What about Benny Hines? Benny Hines is showing some good midi sectors, but not enough to top Tommy Corks at the moment. So Tommy celebrating early.
Yeah, it could be. It might be maybe a little bit too early, but we'll find out because at this rate, Benny Hines has set a green sector 2 at the moment, so it's a personal best. It's not the quickest, but keep in mind, he's only 2 tenths away. He has to get a little bit further up the road here to get himself inside that top 3. He's about to cross the start-finish line now. This is the banker lap that he needed, but he's not going to get it. Only a 14.7 for his last lap there in qualifying, and that is all she wrote. Tommy Corks does take P1. Doc Elliott's gone up into 13th as well as he crossed the start-finish line. Symes is still trying to finish off a lap here as well. He's in the 16th. Head of the cheese board. Welcome back, son. He is here for 2026, and he's just donoring the Thomas the Tank Engine there livery car as well. But it is Tommy Cox takes P1, Brendan Hack in P2, Fabian Fitness P3, Astrop in 4th on debut, if you don't mind as well. And he's just set the time material alight. Benny Hines in 5th, Crowther in 6th, Murata and Buddygeg 7th and 8th, respectively. Remo Grant and the rest of them all start to file out of the pits, which means that timing board right there is inaccurate, Lindsay. So that is it for quality. We're going to get into the racing very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. And with those times on the top of the tower, split by only 3/10 in the top 7. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be hardcore. So strap yourselves in. Go and get those condiments refilled. Get ready for race 1. 15 minutes coming our way out of 3 tonight. 16 and 17 will be the 2 and 3 races. Don't you worry. Don't go anywhere. Simsational TV. We'll be right back with you in just a hot second.
Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customisation for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, once again for the Wednesday Cup. We have race 1 ahead of us in just a few moments' time, and it will be Tommy Corks off of pole position with the Hackster sitting in behind him in P2. We have a very, very exciting race ahead of us, the first one of 2026, and it is going to be an absolute cracker. Zach O'Reilly, if you had to make some predictions heading into this first race, what would they be?
Well, it's unknown territory for Hackster up there in P2, genuinely as well. He's been practicing, so I'm going to predict him and Corks are going to have a really good battle. But keep an eye out on Astrop Fitness and Hines coming through, and Matt Munro too, all there within only 5 or 6 grid positions of this one. It's going to be all on like Donkey Kong here. I hope they got their heads screwed on in the old racing room and etiquette department, because race 1 after about a 4.5 week hiatus, we just don't know what's going to happen, Lindsay. It could be absolute carnage or it could be absolute perfection.
Yeah, it absolutely could be, and it's only moments away until we find out. But with the addition of some stewards, Zach, hopefully it should be a bit nicer for them out there on the track. It should hopefully keep the boys in line.
Well, we'll see how they go, because stewarding is live this season and forever onwards here. So it's no longer just whatever is carte blanche style. It's going to be this man who's going to take us away for this race 1. We're getting close, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are about to go up, and Lindsay Muddle is going to take us away here for race 1.
Yep, so here we go then. Tommy Corks lining up on the front row of the grid. Brendan Hack in behind. So only moments until we get going. Drivers lying in wait as well. Fabian Fitness will be making will be looking to make inroads up towards the top of the field. Benny Hines as well, a disappointing qualifying after topping practice. Matt Munro as well sitting back there, and you can't discount anybody on this grid. New cars, new track, new season, new year. So there are a lot of variations here on the line for the opening round of the Wednesday Cup, as I think the lights should be showing up anytime soon. I don't really... There we go. There they are, as we have 6 red lights lighting up here. And we are underway for racing action. Tommy Corks gets a lot of wheel spin off the start, and Brendan Hack is making inroads as they head in towards turn 1. And it looks like Tommy has just gotten the start he needs. But here comes Fabian Fitness on the outside of Tommy Corks. Now he has the inside for the hairpinners. That is very much on the slide there for the Hackster. He's going sideways through the entry to the corner, as there we go. Fabian Fitness up into second place. Benny Hines trying to make up some places as well. He's now trying to show the nose on the outside, as here comes John Astrop on the inside of Ben Hines as they make their way into the long double left-hand sequence sweeper as they head through now. Tommy Corks has absolutely run away with it for now as they continue racing on. And look at it now. Benny Hines is being pushed through the corner. Astrop trying to show the nose. Can't get it done. Fabian Fitness just still sitting behind Tommy Corks, unable to close in. Tommy controlling this race start very well. Meanwhile, McFadden is having a little go here with Desmerada as they head through the middle sector, and they're about to head onto the very, very long straight. So we could see some action here between Astrop and Benny Hines as they're going to go side by side into the braking zone. Over the crest they go. It's 2 by 2 between these two as they go at it, and they run through the final sweepers, and it is going to be Benny Hines holding on to that place. But here at the end of lap 1, Tommy Corks is going to be the leader as he manages to maintain position.
Yeah, and it's a very, very tight position, though, because Fabian's coming at a rate of knots. It's 3 or 4 tenths between the two of them as well. So very, very cool, calm and collected from Tommy Corks. But there was carnage at turn 2 in the background there. The mid-pack was all bunched up and turned around, left, right and upside down. But they've all come out of it relatively unscathed. This is a cracking battle here between the Hackster and Hines. Hines, he just full confidence under brakes. Says, thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll take that position off you, Brendan. And now Hackster's under pressure from Astrop too. He's getting overtaken. This is a good little tussle that we can see here. And that is Astrop just single files in behind the Hackster. Thinks about it very, very wisely. And keep an eye on that background view there as well, because Crowther, Munro, Buttigieg and Andrew Ferguson all were split within about 3 or 4 tenths there. You can see Matt Munro's just aggression trying to defend there from Jake Buttigieg. All understeery into that turn as well. Onto the back straight we go. Now it's cracking stuff. There we've got these boys going. It's Linus' turn. Matt Munro leads this pack from 7th. 8th is Buttigieg. 9th is Ferguson, and McFadden in 10th. Bit of a flashlights there from Jake Buttigieg too, but he's under all sorts. Here comes Jason as well. Keep an eye out for him on the brakes. Just nearly punts the rear end there of Andrew Ferguson, sorry. Comes out of it unscathed. Fergo's on the charge. He's full fired up here tonight as Fergmeister. He knows that he can get himself further up that grid if he doesn't let those guys go in front. But he's got a bit of a challenge happening here, Lindsay. And this is absolutely sensational. How clean the top 12 have got through this one. We're on for a good one.
Yeah, this has been absolutely fantastic at the moment as they continue to go at it as well. Desmerada looking to get a nose in on Jason McFadden, who's out sideways. These cars already proving tricky for these drivers as they're now going to go 2 by 2 side by side here between Murata and McFadden as they head into the slow left-hand hairpin, and that is just about held on there for P10 for Jason McFadden. Desmerada trying to pressure back though, but Fabian Fitness sticking with Tommy Corks for the moment. That gap 3.5 tenths between the top two. These two staying very much clear of the rest. A second clear of Benny Hines, who's trying to close back up. Fabian, though, could be eyeing up a move here, Zach, as he's trying to stay in the slipstream down the straight.
Yeah, he's only within 4 tenths, so it's close, but it's not close enough here for Fabs. And the suck is not too strong in these things as well. When you're only 3 tenths away, you've got to be within that 1.5, 2 tenths for it to be strong. Look at Jake Buttigieg's full attack mode, and he's bumped the back end there. That is Matt Munro getting tangled up in that one. Fergo's come through and taken it off Jake Buttigieg as well. So he's lost 2, and he got poleaxed as well, did Fergo. Just cut the nose off Buttigieg getting past him. Matt Munro survived that. It came out the best. But I'll tell you what, the pace is getting set here early on. Benny Hines, a quick quickest one, 14.598 there. Nearly qualifying times here in the Wednesday Cup already in the racing trim sort of style. This is beautiful stuff. Fergo in 9th, Buttigieg 8 just in front of him. And then you've got the Lyrical Gangster and Brian's cousin, all 3 or 4 abreast, because Remo Grant's even given him a bit of a hurry up there too. That is a mare from Fergo on the exit there, and this is going to leave him susceptible just at the point of 9. That is incredible stuff. But the lead is on here, Lindsay Muddle, between Corks and Fitness. They are going for it, literally only a 10th away, and Benny Hines now is involved in this too. This is a 3-way tussle here for P1. 10 minutes and a half left to go.
Yep, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. They're heading towards the straight. 3 cars there, and Brendan Hack is closing back in as well. All of this tussling is costing the leaders valuable time, as now here comes Fabian Fitness in the slipstream, heading towards the crest, which heads into the braking zone. This is going to be really tricky stuff now, as Tommy Cork staying defensive to the inside, and unfortunately for Fabian, he's not able to get a move done on the inside. He's just sitting behind, but look at him. He's pushing Tommy now, as they're going to go side by side into the final corner. Tommy Cork holding on, but Fabian isn't done. He's showing the nose. He's right there. He's onto the grass. So is Benny Hines, as well, as they're nearly going to go 3 wide. Now here comes Fabian. It is 3 wide between the leaders. Now Tommy Corks drops back. Here comes Benny Hines on the inside of the hairpin, trying to get the move done. Tommy Corks trying to not lose another place, but he can't help it, as here comes the Hackster down the inside. Tommy Corks dropping like a stone, as now here comes Astrop on the outside. Tommy Corks unable to maintain station. He's gone from 1st all the way to 5th in the matter of moments, and now Astrop's on the inside of Brendan Hack, and he's going to get it done, but it's not done yet as they head over the curb, and that is Brendan Hack nearly flying into the side of him. Astrop into the podium places, but under a lot of pressure in the heat of this battle.
Yeah, this is unbelievable stuff. The action is just left, right, upside down, you name it, and cracking racing from all of them. These guys need a pat on the back here early on in this session, because it has been hard, and there's been no contact involved with all these guys in the top 5. Poor old Tommy Corks there lost it completely, went down from 1st down to 5th, and now it's all pressure on, because Fabian's involved in that one. That is Tommy Corks right there, who's sliding that thing around left, right and centre, maybe just overcooking those rear tyres early on, or set the wrong pressure on them, because they're just looking either too hot or too cold. You just can't get the thing turned on, where everyone else has just started to turn those tyres on again, and it's just beautiful to see how these guys are going racing. Fabian leading it, our season 19 champion, leading the opener here in season 20. Got hot property though, because Benny's come back into it. Benny had a season off last season, and just said, no, I'll hang the boots up for now temporarily, come back with a vengeance, and here he is. It's unbelievable. Fergo is just getting swamped. Look at that from Remo Grant. That was way too ambitious there, and he took himself out from 9th back down to 11th. McFadden's got back through on him, and the angry gaggle of cars behind is starting to form, with the haircut there getting done. The Lyrical Gangster's underneath him there, and Desperado too, who's got that job done cleanly. For now, they'll go back down this little straight before the left-hand kick, and it's advantageous of Murata. He's got that job done, but look out between him, because the chef is starting to put on the afterburners here, Lindsay. He's got the 240-degree fan force oven on, and there's a car off. That was McFadden, I think it was, too, right off in the bunda. His tyres will be as cold as a roast turkey on Boxing Day, and I'll tell you what, it is unlocked Donkey Kong between these 3 and 4 and 5 in the background. It's all happening.
Yeah, it's still kicking off here, as here comes Brody Barber down the straight. He's looking to make a move on McFadden, who just took an excursion off the track, but into the hairpin. Here comes McFadden back up the inside. Oh, it's sideways and around there, but Des Murata, he manages just to keep it back on the road. Brody Barber wasn't so lucky. He's gone off the racing surface. Now Ezra Simons is getting involved in this one as well. He's on the back of Cook now as they head into the final corner. It's all kicking off here, up and down the field. McFadden finds a break, and he's now out back on his own. Des Murata looking to repressure, but here comes Ezra Simons. Oh no, that was contact down the straight, and that is Cook falling down, and that is really, really poor there, heading down the straight. But here comes the Lyrical Gangster. Oh, he's sideways, he's off, and then there was another car as well. Buttigieg went straight on at the hairpin.
Oh, geez, he was flying through there. He was like a missile, was Buttigieg, in the wrong one. He needs to be back on the track very, very quickly, but Murata has murdered a couple of people there as well in the old racing department, so the stewards will have something to say about that between himself and Barber too. And that was a little bit of contact that we didn't need. This is William Wallace, though, on the screen, who's just getting overtaken right now. His favourite finish. He's gone for the lead, but Benny Hines is right there with him. 2x2 Noah's Ark style. Benny's just gone full bush, and Fabian's cut it on the inside. Here comes Astrop 2 now involved. 3 cars lined up here for the lead of the race here with 6 minutes to go in the opener here for season 20. These guys are now hammer and tonging themselves straight down the raceway into the front straight. Fabian Fitness just had a little bit of a breather. A 14.9 from Astrop on that last lap. That is flying. No wonder the guys caught up to these couple in front of him. He now just needs to get the old blinkers on here and just focus straight ahead. Don't worry about what those cars are doing behind him, because with these two boyos, we'll be fighting like tooth and nail. Benny Hines has got something to prove. Fabian Fitness has got everything to lose. His 4-time championship winner now in the Wednesday Cup is Fabian. Benny's still trying to find his first one. Ambitious up the inside on the left-hander there. Through the chicane they go. Liner Stern once again. Fabian is now feeling the pinch and the pressure. This is beautiful stuff. Look at them slot back in beside each other. Sideways on the entrance there for Benny Hines too. Oh, this cracking stuff. Haxt is now forming into this one because Fabian is a little bit of a cork in the bottle.
Yep, this has been absolutely fantastic racing here to kick off this season. Still 5 minutes to go here in race 1 as Benny Hines looking in behind, trying to look for an overtake, but he can't quite get close enough. In fact, he's a little bit sideways there. These drivers loving to kick these cars out wide as Fabian Fitness cutting across the grass there, using every ounce of truck available to him at the moment. As you can see, the pack closing. Tommy Corks has seemingly gotten himself back together, and he's trying to close in once again to at least finish inside the top 4. This is unfinished business here for Tommy after dropping from first all the way to 5th. The damage was done, but can he recover? As meanwhile, there's a battle still going on further down here. Cook, Wallace and Murata going at it. We've already seen Des in a little bit of trouble as they head into the final sector now. This is going to be really tricky. These three so close together as they head in towards the opening part of this next lap, and it looks like Hayden Wallace is looking for a move on the inside of turn 1. He's going to pull up alongside Cook, and they're going to go wheel to wheel as they head into the hairpin. He's forced to the outside line. Can't quite make anything work. Now here comes Desperado as they head through the exit. He's gotten the drag off the corner. Wallace not done yet as he shows the nose on the inside now of Cook, and he can't quite get alongside. Meanwhile as well, that's Brody Barber and Colton Adkins going wheel to wheel as they go through this part of the racetrack, through the long sweeping left-hander. Colton gets it done. That was an absolutely sensational move from Colton.
There he's right up on the inside curb there and just pulled the car in like he had ultimate grip there. So a little bit of education there for Colton. He'll know that one. He'll take a mental note about that every lap, and he'll just see her up the grid surely in the next couple coming his way. The chef is under pressure though, because right behind him he's got very, very angry cars in Wallace and Murata too. So he's got to be careful about all of this stuff. Johnny Astrop, look at the lap time. 14.3 there just popped up on the board as well. He is qualifying the racing in trim as well. Absolutely barnstorming his way. Still in 3rd place. That lead pack is now separated only by a 10th and a bit each between them. This one is just fogging off here at the moment. There's firecrackers, there's bullets, there's everything happening here between 15th, 16th and 17th. This is like we're watching the lead of the race. It's the back half of the grid, ladies and gentlemen. That's how fierce it is. That's how competitive this league is. And also the winner. Look at that for a send from Colton, and absolutely pissed off poor old Wallace into the bunda there. Hopefully that was a hardware error or something, because that was just no brakes, no worries for Colton Atkins, and he's just murdered everyone in sundry there. Poor Wallace has got back out luckily in front, but a few positions down from where he was. He won't be too happy about that one. Haircut will be breathing a sigh of relief because he's just been gifted the one of a lifetime. Chef here has also done so because Gray Ward is now in front of him just a little bit too far away. Up the inside goes Chef, just sends it on the old grayscale and bumps him wide for a bit of the old curry. There you go, son. I'm giving it to you. Murata's trying to get back in that one too for Gray. He's under all sorts of pressure on the back straight we go. And now it is Liner Stern, side by side, Noah's Ark style. 2 by 2, can it be 3? The headlights are ablaze here for Grey Ward. He's not happy. Murata trying to go the outside. It's going to be advantageous for Grey Ward to get it turned in the inside. He does. Will he just overlap? He does as well. Beautiful stuff there from Grey defensive driving. Murata had nothing to do. He couldn't do anything there, in fact, over them. But, geez Louise, it's fierce up and down the field. That lead pack as well is very, very spicy as well as Murata goes wide. And there is Fabian Fitness under all sorts because Benny Hines is on his tail once again, Lindsay.
Yeah, a minute 45 to go in this race 1, and Fabian Fitness is absolutely feeling the pressure as they're heading into the 2 corners before the straight. So now Fabian is really going to have to be focused on his exit. He's going to need to get an absolute slingshot off the corner, but he doesn't. He does the exact opposite. So here comes Benny Hines taking advantage of the opportunity he's been given, but Fabian holding all the way to the inside as John Astrop as well in the background looking to seize the moment, seize the opportunity. He can't do so. Fabian holds holds on for now with cracking defence, but Benny Hines will be getting frustrated. He'll be seeing red. He'll be getting impatient as Fabian Fitness continues to stand between himself and the P1 slot here in the inaugural race of this season 20. And this has been absolutely cracking stuff as they go for one more time in this race, Zach O'Reilly.
Yeah, this is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. It's a minute 15 and they cross it with a minute 3. So this is it. It's all for who takes the first blood in this race for the season 20 opener. And it's Fabian Fitness leading it, but hot on his collar is Benny Hines, who's just trying everything. Fabian's full defense mode, straight to the left-hand side of the circuit in the hairpin. He checked Benny Hines up there. Benny Hines has got to be careful because Astrop will be all over him like a jockstrap in the background if something happens between the two of them in front. But this is good racing. Fabian is holding on for dear life. He's hungover. He's rusty. He's had 3 days off from anything, he says, and he's just come back in here and just showing them how to do it here cleanly and fairly. Full oversteer there as well. Just managed to keep it up. Can he get this run out of this corner right? He does this time around. Luckily, Hines is behind him. It's too far away here for a slipstream. Barring an absolute disaster coming Fabian's way here for the last 3 corners here at Mills Metro Park, I think he's going to take the win here for this one in the season 20 opener. He does. He comes out of there beautifully. It's 5/10 away now for Benny Hines. No chance. Astrop's got half a chance on Hines for the last lap dive into the final corner, but I don't think he's going to get it done. Fabian is going to come across the line in fitness style there, takes the TRT, injects himself and says, Bankskis, I'm going to take the opener here. Season champion for 19. Eat your heart out. Hines, Astrop, Hack, and Tommy Corks inside the top 5. Wow, that was enthusiasm plus and some beautiful, beautiful racing there, Lindsay.
Yeah, what a race. I thought there was going to be some rust for some of these guys, but it doesn't seem like it. They came out with a vengeance. That was cracking racing from lights to flag with not too many issues up and down the grid. The midfield as well put on an absolute show as McFadden rounds out the top 10, which is important in the grand scheme of the reverse grid. So he'll be starting on pole for the next one, Zacho.
He won't be, Lindsay, because I absolutely stuffed that one up on the graphic. It's a top 8 reverse grid. So it's going to be Matt Munro who takes P1 in this next race coming our way. But boy, oh boy, is that something to behold. These guys are just loving every single moment. Look at them celebrate there in style, just flicking them sideways wherever they possibly can. But what an opener to this event and to season 20. Welcome 2026, ladies and gentlemen. Are you not entertained? That is a question. If you aren't, I suggest you go find something else, which will be probably on another planet, because that was rip snorting here for these boys. But it is Fabian Fitness who takes it. And he took it by 0.4 of a second over Benny Hines. Astrop only 0.2 away from Benny Hines as well in 3rd place. So they're very, very close. But now they've got to do it the hard way and go for it for the next one. And you can see that these boys can race clean. And when they put on a show, they put it on hard and fast. And that is what we like to see. And the car control is amazing. So they all single file back into the pits. That's your top 10 there, ladies and gentlemen. McFadden rounds it out. Grant, Simons, Cook, Murata, Ward rounded out the top 15. And 16th downwards was Elliott, Barber, Buttigieg, Wallace, Olive, Bensley, Atkins, Georgeson, and the head of the cheese board in 24th place. And I think there was Dante's Peak and Matt Black also, who finished off the race just in the end, and Maury was a DNF out of that one. But that is it. That means, Lindsay Muddle, we've got to get ourselves strapped in for race 2. And that will be something to behold indeed. It's going to be Matt Munro off pole position in 8th place for that one. And the guys who just finished that in 1, 2, and 3 have to start from 8th, 7th, and 6th, respectively. Not as far away from a possible race lead opportunity, but with the tight competition that we've seen, it's going to be a hard task. So who can do it? We yet to find out, and we will in just a few moments here at Simsational TV. Go and get those condiments refilled, ladies and gentlemen. Race 2, 16 minutes, top 8 reverse grid. Don't go anywhere.
Simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted
Yes, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And welcome back. If you've only just tuned in, boy, oh boy, was a race one that we just saw was an absolute rip snorter. That is going to be fantastic to see. I can give you the hot bit tip there, and that is awesome because it was a rip snorter. Matt Munro finished in 8th, and it's a reverse top 8 grid as well. And these guys are now flogging around once again with 16 minutes coming our way. We've got about a minute and a half left to go. Lindsay Muddle, if being given the old technical difficulties advice, if I could just be turned up a little bit from the advice there on the intros side of things, on the input, that'd be great. But otherwise, this has been a rip snorter. Matt Munro will find himself off P1. And then I can give you a good old bit of Tijuana side of things in the OBS style, probably there, Lindsay, too. By the way.
I did it on OBS already.
Okay, lovely. And the race one was won by Fabian Fitness. Hines got in second place, and Astrop was third, but they were separated by 0.3 of a second. It was a bit of a gap back down to these guys, so they've got everything to play for with does Matt Munro and Jake Buttigieg. So stick around for that and see what they can do. And the Birdman too. But can Tommy Corks keep it back into P1 and not go back down to P5, Lindsay? We'll find out with about 35 seconds left before race 2 starts.
Yeah, and I think we've got a really interesting one ahead of us. Matt Munro, he was a bit scruffy off the last race start. He was in the midst of it and then just fell off a little bit. So he'll be looking to have a bit of a recovery drive from that one. Benny Hines starting down in 8th. He'll be looking to make further use of his time on the grid, making his way up. Lee Crowther as well, as you were talking about, with some work to do. Tommy Corks as well. Will be looking to make amends from last one. But, Zach, I'll let you take this one.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The lights are up. 6 lights are out. And that means we're about to go racing. And off goes Matt Munro for the start of race 2. And he's got a beautiful jump there as well. Buttigieg and Jake got a little bit of a tardy one. But it's even better between him and Crowther because Crowther's lining up beside him too. Maybe a bit of overlap, but it's Matt Munro who's going to lead him into turn 2 as we come through. A bit of argy-bargy there in the background between Corks and the Hackster. Astrop's sort of gone into it as well, but he's come out unscathed. A little bit skatey and dicey, but the rear of the pack have got through. Jake Buttigieg finds himself in second. Astrop's dropped down to 7th place from where he started. That's Benny Hines trying to get up the inside of him too. So it's all on like Donkey Kong here at the start. It's full single file into the left-hand sweeper that we've got coming around. They all blitz through here at 100 mile an hour, fly over that curbage there, line astern, left, right, upside down, and it is fantastic stuff. It is good to see these guys now just racing around like an absolute barnstormer here for the opener. Matt Munro has still got the lead. He's leading it by about 2 or 3 tenths here as the timing tower updates itself. it is still a beautiful place to be. McFadden is stuck himself in 6th place. A beautiful, good little move for him. And he'll be looking pretty racy here for this one. I can guarantee you that. Simons is going for a move. He's going on Fergo up the inside. Thinks twice about it. Fergo survives that one. Will the mid-pack get through that tight little right-hander there as well? They do through the chicane. It is race on here. Matt Munro is leading this one on lap 1. Buddy Gegg in 2nd place. Crowther and Cork separated only by about 3 or 4 tenths. So a little bit of a field spread here early on, Lindsay. And I'll tell you what, we've got 14 minutes and 32 seconds to go. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen here as they're just now going to be settling down back into rhythm. They'll know what to expect after race 1. There's a little bit of movement there in the background. Andre Elliott trying to make a move down the inside as it's nearly 3 wide there as Tommy Corks is on the outside of Lee Crowther as they head through the left-hand hairpin, and they're going to be 2 by 2 as they head down this long section, this long sweeping left-hander. Tommy Corks let out to dry. Their backs out behind Lee Crowther. He'll now be setting it up for the straight, but now as well Fabian Fitness looking to get a nose in on Tommy Corks as now Astrop as well also under a bit of pressure. McFadden trying to put himself into that little fray as well, but Tommy Corks with a lot of pressure here behind him. Fabian Fitness looking to make a move now. He pulls to the inside, used the slipstream, now he's pulling ahead, but Tommy Corks finds a second wind, and now Fabian is going to be forced to make it late on the brakes, and he does, but he goes a bit deep there. There's almost contact on the apex, but they hold it now. Fabian just a deft touch on the brake pedal, manages to pull it up, but Tommy Corks just about holds on there on the outside line too, so give him credit for that one. That was fantastic to hold on, but Fabian not done yet as they now sweep through the final corner. Fabian on the outside, and he gets it done around the outside of the final corner. What a move from Fabian.
He was just off the circuit there, nearly a 4-wheel off scenario. Tommy Corks tried to come back at him into the first of the right-hander. Now at the second one we go, but it's Fabian in 4th now, a race winner from race 1. He's in 4th place. Watch out for him. He's got a fair bit of work to do though, because it's a good 2 to bit seconds away from him and the next guy into the lead of the race, which is Matt Munro, still leading this one by a good 5 or 6 tenths over Jake Buttigieg as well. So we've got a bit of a lull in proceedings as compared to race 1, mind you. But I'll tell you what, these guys are still racing hammer and tongs up and down the field. It's on like Donkey Kong everywhere you go. Fabian in 4th. And now we can see these guys. Johnny Astrop is trying to get the job done on Tommy Corks, who's just seems to be strong on the first opening 2 laps or so, and then just struggles from there onwards as Tommy. Maybe a little bit of a setup change, and there's a car off in the background there. That was Andre Elliott losing it on the exit onto the back straight, so he's lost about 2 or 3 positions out of that move. Unfortunately for him, he'll come back through the grid though. Don't you worry about that. These guys are racing hammer and tong hard and fast here, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Gregg style. And this is really good stuff to see. But the gaps between Hines, Corks, Fitness, Astrop and McFadden are all only between 3 or 4 tenths of a second. Look at that centipede there of Holden Gemini's going through the field here, Lindsay. It's just starting to boil a little bit. The kettle's about to whistle, and I feel something's going to happen here pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a move made soon. Tommy Corks looking to come back at Fabian. He's going to lunge it to the inside now, late on the brakes, just showing the nose, not committing to anything though, as John Astrop as well looking to defend from Benny Hines, who's still struggling to make headway into this race. He's currently sitting in 7th and he's just struggling to move forward. This train's so close. These cars creating a lot of close competition here, Zach O'Reilly. I think that these cars are a great fit for the racing. It's keeping these drivers a little bit more on their toes. It's a bit slidey, but it's also allowing for racing. They've just got to be conservative, and it really makes them focus on their racecraft. And I think that we're seeing that here in the purest of fashions here. No ridiculous dives. It's just been pure hard racing, as it looks like Astrop could be looking for a move here on Tommy Corks. It's a bit far back, though. It would be audacious. No, Tommy defends a little bit, but nothing too much there, as he knows Astrop isn't going to go for it. But yeah, just some really hard-fought racing, but you really have to work your way into a move.
Yeah, and it's definitely that way, because even Benny Hines is struggling to get past Astrop, and Astrop struggled to get past Benny Hines. So it's a bit of a reverso here for race 2 between those two. Benny just dipped it off a couple of wheels there on the exit of the final corner. So it's given Astrop a little bit of a breather there too. So he'll be breathing a sigh of relief here, but still eyes all forward and maybe a little bit back, because it is stiff competition behind you. But Benny Hines coming through at a rate of knots, and Hines wants to get further up the grid because Fitness is in 4th. He's a couple of positions further up the road. You can just see him there out of the cockpit there in that black TKR livery. And look at the slide there from Tommy Corks. That's no, that's not Tommy Corks. That's the Johnny Astrop, because Astrop just went a little bit wide, and that's all the invitation that Benny Hines need. Too wide through the sweeper, and out the other side comes Benny Hines. Oh my goodness me, that was a sensational move again, Colton Atkins style from the other one. And geez Louise, it is beautiful to see how aggressive but clean these guys are, giving each other racing room, giving each other the old Tijuana when they need to, and pouncing on any opportunity that comes their way. And I'll tell you what, the Birdman here in Lee Crowther has 100% got the opportunity of a lifetime, showing the nose. He's going to send it up the inside. Has he outdone himself into the turn? He has. He's full drifted, and he's going to lose 1 place, maybe 2 to Fabian. Fabian's right beside him there as well. It is done for Fabian Fitness, but Crowther's not giving up. He has to go 2 by 2 into the final corner. Fabian on the inside, sweeps to the inside and takes it there, right as he thought he couldn't get the job done. And Crowther's going to have to lick his wounds there. And here comes Tommy Corks as well in the background of these boys break. But Fabian, our race 1 winner, now into 3rd place.
Yeah, good move and a good opportunity there that Fabian took, as now Cork showing the outside there to Lee Crowther, but nothing going. But Matt Munro currently out the front by a second, and then it's a second between Buttigieg and Fabian as well. So a little bit of a gap there in the top 2. We saw that in race 1 as well. All the battling going on further down from P3 backwards is just allowing them to get away a little bit. But I think that Fabian will now have an opportunity with a bit of clean air in front of him to close up to Buttigieg and Matt Munro, as John Astrop as well. He's got a car close in front of him and close behind, but these cars, they're sitting there in a little train, and it's just about waiting for a mistake. And I think that we've seen that already. Whenever a mistake is made, an overtake is made. And Tommy Corks was forced tight there by Benny Hines. Now here comes Hines as he goes to the left-hand side. He pulls all the way to the inside. He's going to look for a move here on Tommy Corks into the hairpin. Last of the late break as he goes. It's wheel to wheel there as they head out of the hairpin. And that is absolutely all over the curb there for Tommy Corks, over the grass as much as you'd like. Eat your heart out, and he manages to hold on to the place at the moment as Astrop now, the car on the back of Benny Hines, looking to take that place back. Hines just didn't quite go late enough on the brakes. He was a little bit conservative, and now that's actually put him under reverse pressure now. He's not pressuring the car in front. He's being pressured by the car behind.
Yeah, both of them now. It's a bit of a sandwich here now for Benny Hines. He's got to get past Tommy Corks, and that's going to be easy because he just went wide and dipped 2 wheels off. So that's Benny Hines past Tommy Corks for now, unless Tommy just fights back at him. He doesn't. Now Astrop's got to get around the outside of Tommy Corks too, if he possibly can, and get that ultimate exit with the traction. And now they're 2 by 2 into the left-hand sweeper. This is going to be a hairy than a Greek's back here. I can give you the hot tip. Now they sweep through both of them. They come through the chicane there. Still 2 by 2, mind you. Look at that from Dastrop. He's just full committed, but he's lost it on the outside. And here comes McFadden. Look at how Brian's cousin just tried to take 2 for 1 deal. He only got 1 of them, but boy, oh boy, that was opportunistic from McFadden. Corks gets 6th place, luckily here. How long can Jason hold off from the fast Astrop there? It was just a bit ambitious, then that's what cost you. You can't be too aggressive because you'll lose a 10th or 2, and that's all it takes in these things with the tight racing coming our way. But look at Fabian now. He has just bridged the gap. He's got past Birdman, and now he's catching Buttigieg at a rate of knots. Matt Munro still leads this one with 7 minutes and change left to go by 2 seconds about. But Fabian's only half a second away here from Jake Buttigieg. So it could be on for P2 for Fabian, and then his next target down the road will be Matt Munro. But has he got the time? That is the question. We will never find out until that fat lady sings and the checkered flag is waved here in the Wednesday Cup for race 2. That is sideways there from Buttigieg and Fitness too on the entrance far. That'll be Lee Crowther's half invitation, but he can't get the job done. He shows a nose just full aggressive, but he was unrealistic and a bit ambitious there to do so. But aggression is what you need. You need to keep your psychoanalyst in the brain and just try to outwit that guy in front, Lindsay, and you'll be up there for the taking of a position with 1 error coming your way.
Yeah, it seems to be a mental game in these cars. It's not super easy to get up alongside someone, but if you force someone into an error, which is really easy to do with these slidey cars, that's when you can pounce. But Fabian himself has made a mistake there through the sweeper. He went out a little bit wide and he lost a bit of time to Buttigieg, so now he finds himself under a little bit of pressure. But further down, there's a bit of racing here for 12th position as Remo Grant gets past Clint Olive, and now it's the Hackster as well fighting Brody Barber as they head through now wheel to wheel, and it's absolutely sensational stuff as they're heading down the straight. There's 4 cars here locked into battle as the Hackster picking up a bit of a slipstream now. Could he go for a double overtake? He's now back on the racing line, but it's the outside line to Olive as they go battling now as they head through this sweeping final sector. Benny Hines now sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 14.4. An absolutely sensational lap time there from Benny Hines trying to get himself back into this one. But there's battles up and down the field as well, because McFadden is in a little bit of a battle with Fergo now as well, who's closing up to the back of this little pack. But there's a swap. No, there's not a swap up the front. It's a timing tower having a mare. As they get really close together, though, there is potentially a swap incoming as Benny Hines through the long left-hander is pushing Lee Crowther through this sweeping chicane. And now as they head into the next part, it's wide from Crowther, and that is Benny Hines through and ahead. But Crowther trying to fight it back as they head towards the straight. He's on the outside line, switches to the inside, but Benny Hines moves up into 4th position, but to the detriment of his time gap to Fabian Fitness, and now he's having to defend once again from Lee Crowther.
Yeah, look at him sweeping down and swerving left and right to break the toe there. Was Benny Hines on Lee Crowther. Love how Crowther's going racing here. That is nearly a move there from Fitness and Buttigieg too. That was nearly on like Donkey Kong as well. Jake, you just lost the position and then gained it back. That was tight as well. So they've got 2 battles here, and we've got one in front and then one behind as well between Fabian Fitness and Hines and Crowther and Astrop as well. This is good stuff. I'm loving seeing this. These guys are just going nuts. And look at Fabian, the aggression. Buttigieg's gone defensive on him. Can he hold the position though? 2 by 2 into turn 2 they go. Nearly Richie Beno style there. Choo, choo, choo. And they're coming through here at a rate of knots. Look at Fabian. He'll just switch to the racing line. It's going to be Buttigieg who's just going to go defensive. But Fabian swept around the outside. Can he get the drive? He can. He's going to be on the wrong side of the track here for this part. But for the chicane, he's got the overlap and he's got the momentum. It's going to take balls of steel here from the both of them to make it through here 2 by 2. And they do just. But Buttigieg pulls out at the last minute there. And here comes Benny Hines. He's going for it on Buttigieg as well. Fabian into 2nd place. 3 seconds down the road is Matt Munro, who's had an absolute beautiful. There is Lee Crowther, who's just come off the circuit there as well, so he's lost a couple of positions too. But Buttigieg versus Hines, that battle is going to rage on here for the remaining 3 minutes and 40 odd seconds left in this race, and it's just a bit of a slipstream now down the back straight. Take a breath. Think about which way you're going to go racing and how you're going to approach the next overtaking manoeuvre. Maybe psych someone out, over move, but it looks like here at the moment, Benny Hines has just got a little bit of a roadblock in front of him of Jake Buttigieg, who can defend and he can race. Don't you worry about that in the Air Malta car, but it's going to be a tough chance to get past because Fabian will probably skip off down the distance into the road style and let these guys go if Benny can't get the job done on Buttigieg.
Yeah, so I think it's just going to settle down now as Fabian runs up the road, but it does make Hines' job a little bit easier because now it won't be Buttigieg picking up a slipstream from the car in front. It's just going to be Hines with the slipstream trying to get a move done as they head into the next braking zone. Hines just closing in though. He's getting ever so closer into every braking zone, through every acceleration zone. He's just creeping forward towards Jake as he's trying to size up a move. Jake will be seeing him, filling up the rear view mirrors, and he'll be feeling the pressure as they head through this chicane and into the long sweeping left-hand section. Back hard on the brakes, get the car tipped through, don't run out wide, and now prioritise the exit heading onto the straight as Jake is close back into Fabian a little bit, but Benny Hines is right there, 3/10 underneath the big hill climb rear wing of the car in front, but he's not going to be close enough to go for a move. These cars really not generating a lot of slipstream, and they just continue to race away as Benny Hines a little bit deep under the brakes there, nearly flew into the back of Jake.
He nearly did, but that was closer than he wanted to be, I can guarantee you. But down that hill section into that braking zone, it's tight. It's very hard to not lock a brake up or maybe even just nosedive into the back of someone. So you've got to be cautious through there and see what the braking ability is of the car, so to speak, in that dirty air behind the other car. But it's just happening up and down the field here at the moment. You can see behind, you got Corks and Astrop there having a good old tussle in the foreground, and then you've got back down the field. There's a tight little gaggle of cars here between McFadden and Ferguson, who's about to sweep past each other here. Beautiful stuff there from McFadden. He's defending for his life from Fergo. Fergo's going to try and take the long way around, trailer park girl him around the outside, and he has got the job done here for now. It's going to be another 2x2 session down into the left-hand sweeper here. Fergo's wide. McFadden just pulls out of it and lets Fergo go past, and that'll be Andrew Ferguson now just into a bit of fresh air. Hopefully he can put his eyes forward and go for it too and see what's happening. But look at Hines now. He is all over the rear tailgate of that Gemini in front of him with Buttigieg. Buttigieg's now just going to start to break the toe if he possibly can. He's on full defensive on him, and he just hasn't been able to get past his Benny Hines on Jake Buttigieg at the moment, and he's not going to do it here into this turn. But geez Louise, it's racing harder. But look at Tommy Corkso and Astrop. They're fighting over it. These guys have been going at it for the last 3 or 4 laps too, and it's been hammer and tong between those guys. Oh no, that's a Paul Buttigieg sitting on the side of the road there. He's just out of the race race completely. He must have run out of fuel or something, but it's on here between Tommy Corks and Astrop. Astrop's just trying to get past him, but he's been a bit of a tough task here, is Tommy, to get past. A man who drives on a controller, mind you, so he's got a little bit of an advantage or a disadvantage at some stages of the racing, but Astrop wide. Full aggression under brakes, lost it completely, and now it's going to be a little bit of a battle again between Hines and Buttigieg.
Yep, so these two just really going at it here. This should be the last lap of the race here with 20 seconds left on the clock, and Benny Hines knows that as he's looking to make his claim into the podium places. He's showing the nose as they head in towards the chicane. Very far over the left-hand side curb, and now sweep it through. He needs to get a good exit, otherwise he won't find himself on the podium here of race number 2. Matt Munro has driven away with it at the moment, but let's see the exit here from Benny Hines. Will it be good enough? No, he's onto the grass, and in fact, that has been a very poor exit. Nobody really looking to make moves here on the last lap, but a person who never had to make a move. He got off the line well. Matt Munro has driven an absolutely fantastic race. He's turned the headlights on here through the final sweeping section, and as he rounds the final corner in race number 2, he'll take his claim at the top step of the podium with a drift out of the final corner. Matt Munro takes the win in race number 2.
Cracking drive there from Matt Munro, fresh off his AC hiatus into the iRacing world, and then just takes it into AC again and says, I'll take a win, boys. And that's what he's done, and he's just sent it into the wall there in the last minute. Cracking drive there from Matt Munro. Led it from start to finish and does a very good job. Babe Fitness got second place. Jake Buttigieg gets third. Benny Hines only a bee's whisker behind him, 2/10 in fourth. Tommy Corks on your screen right now gets fifth. Astrop fought for his life to get past Tommy Corks, but that is sideways as you like there. That is how you go drifting, ladies and gentlemen, in these things. Crowther gets seventh. 8th place goes to McFadden. 9th for Ferguson. And Colton Atkins on the redemption drive gets 10th place with the Chef 11th. 12th, Brendan Hack, who disappointed with that one, will be the Hackster. I think he got caught up in some mischievous sort of notoriety sessions there in the mid-pack. Barber, the haircut, gets 13th place. Lyrical Gangster, 14th. Remo Grand, Ezra Simmons, the Rim, in 16th. Clint Olive gets 17th as well. Quick Maz himself. Doc Elliott has been forgotten about, and he's exited the server. He's out for the night. Hayden Wallace from Braveheart. Wallace gets 19th. Mr. Colourful in Black gets 20th. Head of the cheese board in 21st. He's put it in the pits already. Georgeson, Peak, and Sam Bensley round out the grid there for race 2. We've got one more to go. 17 minutes. This is a reverse top 10. So Colton Atkins is going to start off pole, ladies and gentlemen, for this one. And it's going to be the long way for Matt Munro, Fabian Fitness, and Buttigieg from 10th, 9th, and 8th, respectively, to get themselves further up into the pointy end of the field. Will that happen? Will these boys know exactly what to do, or will it just be absolute carnage for race 3? We will never know Lindsay Muddle. So I'm going to let you take this one off into the break for race 3.
Well, I just want to check one thing with you. He'll be off pole for the next one because you messed up the graphic for the first one. Is it top 15?
No, it's top 10.
Top 10. Okay. So Colton Atkins then will be off pole for the next one. They're finishing in 10th position. So it's going to be really difficult for these drivers. And as Zach said, will it be carnage or will it be good? That is what we'll find out as we head towards race number 3 here in the Simsational TV commentary box. We'll be right back.
Race 3, ladies and gentlemen. And we're not starting from the pit lane and give you the hot tip. It's going to be one man, Brendan Hack, who's off the start of this one for the final event of round 1 here in season 20 of Wednesday Cup in the off its tits, in quote, Gemini. And the hill climb spec of him, and boy, oh boy, they look good. And does that car look good too, mind you? Just every retro colour under the sun. That takes me back to the mid-70s sort of racer boy spec style. And even boating as well with the big 350 at the back, or the big block with the big chrome pipes. That livery there from Brendan Hack looks great. But who are we going to take? We need some predictions in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, because it's just been off its tits here at the moment. These guys have been racing hammer and tong, Lindsay. This man's quick on the screen. Can he capitalise here on the front row start and maybe take his win here in season 20?
Yeah, that is the magic question. He showed some pace in race 1, fell down a little bit in race 2. Can he return to form here, starting off pole position? He's given the car some rev throughs here, getting ready to go as these drivers get ready to go racing. But yeah, can he hold on? That is the big question. He's got some big names trying to come back up through behind him, but Fabian Fitness and Matt Munro all the way down in 12th and 13th. So they've got some, or in 11th and 12th, sorry. They've got some big shoes and space to cover here as they come to the 6 red lights here at the Mills Metro Park. And we're underway for racing action here for the final time tonight. And Brendan Hack gets absolutely done off the line here. Cook has gotten off to an absolute flyer off the start, and he's pulling alongside the Hackster as they go 2 by 2 here as they head into the hairpin. He'll hold the inside line. Here comes Colton though. Oh no, for the second time tonight, he's given someone the elbow heading into the hairpin as Hayden Cook has been absolutely sent off to the outside, to the grass with an absolute door whack and a half there as they now head through the next left-hand hairpin. He's still holding on to third though, despite going off the road. He's put up a valiant effort here to hold on as McFadden tries to put the pressure on as Astrop and Fergo go side by side as they head into the high-speed chicane. Surely not 2 by 2. It nearly was all over the curb there for Astrop. Nearly went absolutely flying off the circuit as I can hear tyre screams in the background.
Oh,
there's been a pile-up. There has been an absolute pile-up. Look at how many cars are done and dusted there. That's at least 10 cars off into the ditch, off the back of the field.
Yeah, disaster there for everyone. Murata caught up in that one. So was Thomas the Tank Engine in the cheese board. You name it. Wallace, Peak. Matt Munro also involved in that one. He'll be spewing. And Wallace is still getting turned around here too as well by Dante's Peak. So it's all on. But here up the front, you can see that Ezra Simon's in 12th place. He's got some stiff competition in front of him. Look at that from Tommy Corks. Just goes straight into the bunda. And he's going to try and take Jake Buttigieg, but he thinks about it again and puts some brakes on to say, no, I'm not letting you. No! A massive crash there from Fabian Fitness. And I think that was the Birdman. No, it wasn't. That was Fabian Fitness, and I think there was Clint Olive that came together. That was disaster there, all black. Who? I can't even realise who it was, but it was definitely that man on the screen. He somehow got back onto the circuit there, luckily for him. But boy, oh boy, that was disaster.
No.
And more disaster between McFadden and Fergo. They're both off into the bunda. They've lost their absolute heads here. Race 3, disappointing. After such a good race 1 and 2 in the driving standards department, they've all absolutely gone to the 40 IQ status of the brain department here at the moment. But racing on. Let's keep going because Brendan Hack is now under a little bit of pressure at the front here. It's half a second now, only between himself and Colton Atkins, who just gave Hayden Cook the old Tijuana into turn 2 there, and he still finds himself in second place. Cook's good 2 seconds off the pace there as well. Fabian Fitness and Olive for traded places in the background as well, and contact too between them as well. No. That is Lee Crowther involved in that as well. Oh, the stewards are going to have an absolute field day here, Lindsay Muddle. This is just getting into the poor status here of driving standards.
Yeah, it's taking me back to Charlotte Motor Speedway last season here. This has been more than half the grid involved in big pile-ups or small incidents. This has been absolutely abysmal to start race number 3. It's been so good all the way through, and now they've just lost their heads. The kettle boiled, and it's now absolutely blown the lid off here in race number 3 as they'll have to get their heads back down. Absolutely everybody has been in an incident except for the top 7 or 8, I'd like to say, but even Tommy Cork's got a bit scruffy there. So yeah, pretty much everybody except the top 8 has been into a significant incident, but Brendan Hack still continues to lead the way. Colton Atkins keeping him honest. 4.5 tenths that gap. Hayden Cook absolutely nowhere to be seen. Astrop looking to make a move on him, but he's got to still close up a bit more, and then he'll have a big 3.3 second gap to close up to Colton Atkins as it's Marzella now off the road as well, off the track. That's the second time he's taken an off the ditch excursion in this one. as this has been absolutely carnage off the start. But Astrop is now right there on the back of Cook as he's trying to make a move.
Yeah, he's making a move here at the moment if Johnny Astrop can do so, because Benny Hines right behind him now. He's going to be closing at a rate of knots here from the cork in the bottle that is Chef, but he's putting on a defensive masterclass, this Chef. He gets out in a little bit of clean air, does that man Hayden Cook. He can defend for his life here, and he's probably going to prove me wrong here in 2 corners time, but he is an absolutely beautiful driver when he gets some clean air in front of him, and he's showing those boys up in Astrop and Hines behind him. Astrop and Hines have just traded places on the lap times of 15.7 versus 15.6 there for Benny Hines and Astrop, so they're setting the pace here as well. Hack and Atkins are separated by 0.5 of a second as well, so we'll keep an eye on that one later on down the track. But this is the battle that we're looking at. Look at the way that they all drive differently into that hairpin. One's mid-track, one's wide, one's narrow, and they all come out of it in 3 different timing tower positions there. Some have lost, some have gained, some have absolutely sent it completely the opposite way, and the Chef is still surviving here. He's got Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre-White all yelling at him in the corner of his ear saying, mate, you better not stuff this up for now, and he's doing a great job here. But Astrop's just flying in now, so approaches into the racing line, and Chef's just going a bit over defensive here now, and he's going to be vulnerable. It's 2 or 3 tenths now. This is just in the window of the suck range here. Chef's just going to have to start weaving down the straightaway to break that toe if he can. Astrop's looking for a move down the inside. He's not going to take it under braking there. Luckily, Chef saw that coming. He's pushed it a little bit wide on the exit, but still manages to come out the other side and race onwards here. Cook, Astrop, Hines separated by only 0.6 of a second, all within each other. 3 cars, 0.6 of a second, and the final step of the podium, Lindsay. This is hot property.
Yep, this is going to be absolutely sensational as they head towards turn 1 now, and then into the long double right-hander as well. So this is going to be really close. Astrop looking to make a move as they head into the very elongated hairpin section, as now through the exit. Here comes Astrop with an absolute launch off the corner. He's on the outside line, heading into the hairpin. There's contact though, and that's Astrop falling behind even Benny Hines, who takes advantage, switches underneath the both of them, says thank you very much, and moves up into P3, but it's not done yet. Cook still trying to show it on the outside, but Benny Hines says thank you very much, and takes the both of them as he goes up into 3rd. Now here comes Astrop for round number 2 on the outside, sweeps through, slams the door shut, moves up back into 4th position, but with Benny Hines now the car in front, 7.5 tenths clear of him.
Oh, look at that. That was just very opportunistic there from Benny Hines, and he's just taken that place off the both of them. The Chef's dropped back now. He's under pressure from Buttigieg, as we just said, so look out for that little move there cracking on as well. It's a very, very opportunistic place for Jake Buttigieg to be. You can see that the podium is just there in front of him, only a couple of 100 metres up the road, in fact, so he's going to be right there if he possibly can to get themselves up into that place position for him to get some sort of formidable result here. Disappointing round for him so far in his standards, but he's driven well when he has come into it, and this man will be right up there once again. Don't you worry about that. There's some shit happening in the background there as well. Buttigieg, George, and I think that was the haircut all coming together as well, and that allows all the rest of them through in Olaf Crowther and Paul Buttigieg. So look at this from Olaf, straight up the inside. Does Quick Maz go, but he can't get that job done. He's too ambitious on the curbs. But look at that Birdman, who got caught up in all the nonsense there at the start. He's just fighting his way back through the field here. He's got to get past Paul Buttigieg in a heartbeat if he possibly can. He's sent it up the inside there. That's so ambitious, nearly takes the rear bumper off and the front of his car as well. So that was so lucky there. Clint Olive's going to be all over him in a heartbeat if he possibly can go for it up the inside. He goes too wide into the turn 4 there. Gives him a bump and run there. There's Clint as well on Crowther. And here comes a haircut once again, opportunistic up the inside into the left-hander coming their way. It's overlap here now. Birdman's going to have to stick it fat there on the outside. It'll turn it to the inside for this one. He can. Haircut pulls out luckily at the last minute. But there goes the 2 cars. Buttigieg and Black. I think, no, there was Matt Black was involved, and he's called it a night. After that incident, he was way off the field, and he's back in there now too. So this battle in the latter stages of the pack on the field at the moment, just kicking off fireworks style here, Lindsay. It's all on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they're absolutely not giving each other an inch here at the moment, and Lee Crowther in the midst of it all as the haircut really trying to apply some pressure here. But Astrop as well, only 3 tenths behind Benny Hines, so these two picking it up as well. So there's a lot of battles going on up and down the field as well. Jake Buttigieg as well made a move on Cook earlier on in this race about a lap and a half ago. He made that overtake stick. as this battle continuing to go on as Paul Buttigieg leading this little train, but it's splitting into two here because Crowther has a gap to Barber. It's really late on the brakes there from Crowther. A little bit of a door bang as well. He says, thank you very much. Get out of my way, though. And now here comes the haircut as he's trying to cede the position. Was Lee Crowther. He knew that he bump and run him. And now it's down the inside from O'Leaf. Oh, no. He's been tapped around. And that was very poor there in a couple of sequence of corners there, just trying to get out of the way too desperately, I think, was Crowther, and that sort of begun it all as they continue to go at it now. Buttigieg still leading this way, and now here comes Georgeson. He's out wide, and now here comes, who even is that? It's Clint O'Leaf. It's so hard to keep track. There's contact on the apex. It's sideways. Oh, no. Peak is around. It's absolutely all kicking off here at Mills Metro Park.
Poor. Let's get off that and go back to the top because Astrop and Hines are really close. We'll see how you can go racing here, ladies and gentlemen, and keep it clean all in the mid-pack there. That was just ridiculous stuff. It was dirty as possible. It was just ridiculous. But Johnny Astrop and Benny Hines are only within 2 or 3 tenths of each other each time. It's just beautiful to see how the red mist doesn't descend in the cockpit and you can go racing. We've only got 7.5 minutes to go in this one, and that's it for the night. So these guys now just have to keep it clean, and with the Colton Atkins and Hackster just a good 5 seconds in front of this two, it's just now who can get the final step on the podium. Will it be Astrop? Will it be Benny Hines? Look at that sideways action there from Johnny. He was full sideways there as much as you like, and it's given up a good 3 or 4 tenths there now too. Benny Hines in front of him, so he'll start licking his wounds a bit, and hopefully he can just recalculate the brain to go back into race mode there and start setting some hot laps to get back within that 3 or 4 tenth of a second bracket and keep on going. Fitness, however, in 9th place has just started to climb onto the back of Ezra Simons now. So 9th place and 8th place is probably going to be a change for positions very shortly if Fitness can get himself involved in that one too. Our race 1 winner and season champion from season 19 is going for it. But Astrop here, really showing the nose. Fabian's right on the back end of Ezra. It nearly touches him too. That was so close there from the back. The two Kiwis fighting at it left and right, upside down, all fighting over which they're going to take home tonight. I can give you the hot tip, and it's Fabian around the outside. Trailer Park girls Ezra and says, thank you, I'll take that position. Into 8th place he goes. Beautiful little bit of points haul and surviving there from Fabian, so he'll be happy with that so far with 6 minutes and 14 seconds left in the race here at the final stanza of round 1 in season 20. Lindsay, it's just starting to heat up a little bit up and down the field.
Yeah, that was one of the best overtakes, if not the best overtake we've seen all night there around the outside of the hairpin. That was absolutely gutsy there from Fabian Fitness. Andy got it done. Really impressive stuff from him there as Astrop and Hines are separating, and Colton Atkins as well has fallen off the back of Brendan Hack. So with 5 minutes 50 to go, he's got a challenge ahead of him. Colton has to get his head down and use any pace that he has left because he's really got to get up close behind Brendan Hack heading towards the last lap if he even wants to breath of trying to take the win, and that's the exact opportunity he would have needed because Brendan Hack went flying off the road there at the final corner, but seemingly not losing too much time. But more mistakes like that will continue to creep in as he feels the pressure. Colton needs to make sure Brendan is feeling it if he wants an opportunity to have a go at the race win. Meanwhile, Fergo and Remo Grand as well getting really close to each other as they head through the final sector of the racetrack. 5 tenths separates these two.
Yeah, look at him. Look at the sliding action from Remo and Fergo there too. It's not the quickest way, but it's the most gallivant. But Fergo, they absolutely blitzed him on the lap time. He was 8 tenths of a second quicker on that lap alone than Remo Green in front of him. So he's got some pace here as a Fergmeister. But Brendan Hack now is under all sorts. There was Colton Atkins just checked out there for a moment, and I think Hack's just sort of went into autopilot mode for a second, and that cost him a lot of time. Now Colton has got a little bit of an opportunity here, half a sniff in fact, to maybe get some sort of position up. He's got 4 minutes and 40 odd seconds to do it if he wants to get P1 here in the final race of the evening. You can see the two different driving lines, just full aggression under brakes there from Colton, and the difference between Hackster and him in the confidence department. Bit of server rubber banding there too, so he looks like he was closer and further apart, but just going for the wide entrance here is Colton. Straight up the inside he goes. He just separated this shifting, and there goes Brendan Hack, and that's going to be a change for the lead, ladies and gentlemen, because Colton Atkins, oh no, he's not. There's just some speed there off the track there as well, but he's under all sorts now as Hack, so those tyres will be dirty as a $2 you-know-what, but at the moment Atkins is going for the undercut. He's going for the switchback move. He can't get the job done here. Hackster's losing all his hope that he could take for a P1 here. Atkins is on the prowl here like a big horny cat at midnight, absolutely going for it. This is on like Donkey Kong. 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in this race, and it's P1 and 2 separated by 3 tenths of a second, Lizzie.
Yeah, this is really heating up between the two of them now. So this is the battle for the race win. But Benny Hines has closed 2 seconds in the last 2 laps. So at this rate, there is also still opportunity if these two battle too hard for it to heat back up there as well. This could become a 3 or 4-way fight. But as well, Brendan Hacker's checked back out. Colton made a few mistakes, and now that gap is 7 tenths, but it's sort of like a yo-yo between these two. It gets to 3 tenths, then it goes out to 1 second, then it goes back to 3 tenths. The consistency is now needed from Colton Adkins. If he really wants to have a go at taking this race win, he needs to keep it together. Meanwhile, Cook and Fabian as well had a little bit of a tussle. Fabian getting that move done. Cook trying to re-pressure. Can't do anything about it though. But Colton is just sitting right there. 6 tenths, 5 tenths, just lingering in the rearview mirrors of Brendan Hack, who needs to keep it together just for 3 minutes longer.
Yeah, the tyres are starting to go off. You can see his best was a 14.7, and now they're doing 15.5. So they're a good 8 tenths off their best lap. So it's just dying in the arse here in the grip department here for the both of them. They've driven the wheels off these cars. It's 2.8 seconds now between himself, Colton Atkins and Benny Hines. So they're maybe a little bit too late there for Benny to get himself into P2 opportunistic positions. But we'll see if this battle keeps cracking on here. One error from Brendan Hack again on the final corner, and it's good night Irene to that race lead. Look at the confidence that Hackster just lost there between himself and Colton. Colton's just fired those tyres up again. Full grip adhesion there for him mid-corner. He just gapped him by a good 6 or 7 tenths in one corner alone, and he finds himself only 4 tenths behind now. He's only about 2 tenths away from a little bit of a suckage here, but his Hackster flashing the lights there. Down the straight he goes. He'll break into the into turn 12 of this racetrack. Then we exit out of 13. Then we've got 14 to come, and then it'll be tied for 15. And it's where Hackster has been losing all of his time on the late racetrack for the last 2 or 3 laps. He just can't get this corner right. Can he do it this time? He comes out, he fires it out. He's off onto the grass again. He's just taken the absolute P155 on the track limits there and just skipping on forwards down the racetrack. John Astrop set the fastest lap of the race at 14.2. So these guys are full losing all pace advantage to the guys who were quicker behind him, but they're in the P1 and 2 position. The more they keep fighting and keep thinking about it, this could be over in a heartbeat. And with that timing tower ticking down, this will be the penultimate lap, ladies and gentlemen. Atkins is off in the bunda there too. So now he's losing time left, right and centre as well. 6 tenths, 7 tenths. His tyres will be dirty into this crucial corner where you have to have maximum speed. And that's given Brendan Hack a bit of fresh air and a bit of breathing room, Lindsay. It's on. 2 laps to go.
Yeah, that's the rhythm damage there for Colton Adkins. That could be the head gone, but Brendan Hack at the final corner, he seems to carry more speed and actually be faster by going off onto the grass at the final corner. He doesn't lose anything when he does it whatsoever, so it's just actually playing into his hand a little bit, extending the track there at the final corner. But Colton Adkins now 1.2 seconds off the back, and in fact, I think he might be looking behind as they head onto the final lap of this race, because look at Benny Hines. He's right there, only a second away with 1 more lap left in this race.
Yeah, and it's 14 threes is what Benny Hines is setting. These guys are setting 15 deads. So it's good 7 or 8 tenths of a second quicker. But it's only this lap now that they have to get themselves back into a possible P2 for Benny Hines. Can the race leader hold on, and Brendan Hack and Colton keep it together as well? But the late race pace of this man on your screen is just absolutely blitzing it. Colton is full sideways and drifting it in the exit of turn 3. And it's now all on Donkey Kong. Benny can just smell a P2 possibly coming his way. If Colton's tyres are absolutely dead as a doornail, this could be on like Donkey Kong for him. I think Hackster's going to take the win here because it's 1.2 seconds over himself and Atkins for P1 and 2. But Benny has got the opportunity now to take it and maybe get a point advantage over Fabian Fitness to lead the championship into the second round of this season 20 Wednesday Cup. And he's got 2 corners really to make it up. He's got this braking zone coming up and maybe the final corner if Colton can't keep it together. Benny Hines is within 3 tenths of a second down the back straight away we go. The Wade Georgeson's got right out of the way there. It's probably a little bit too late here, I think, for Benny Hines. One last send in the braking zone. He'll try everything he possibly can, but we've got to give it to the man out in front, Brendan Hack. He's ground in the final 2 corners here. That's one, and that's that last one here to go. And he's going to take the win here in race 3. Does Brendan Hack. Fires across the line here. Headlights ablaze, flashing him in. That is a sensational result there from Brendan Hack. Atkins holds on by 6 tenths of a second to P3 with Benny Hines behind him. Johnny Astrop gets through in 4th. What a debut from that man as well. Buttigieg crosses the line now for 5th with Tommy Corks only 2 tenths beside him, as well as Tommy Wax on the handbrake trying to drift it into turn 1. Fabian Fitness, a redemption drive from him, gets 7th place. The chef, who was in the lead of this race at some stage in the turn 1 and then he got punted wide, finishes in 8th place as a Chef Bra. 9th place for Simons, and Jason McFadden in Brian's cousin. Top 10, a couple more hair follicles coming his way, and that is the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. What a cracking race, Lindsay. That was coming to the wire there for a couple of competitors. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, that was an absolutely cracking night of racing, and race 1 and 2 were really good. Race 3 brought some carnage, but some end of race action there as Tommy Cork's putting on an absolute masterclass. I need him to teach me how to drift. How can you get a race car out this sideways? But anyway, not the point. Yeah, heaps of racing up and down the field. Some cracking stuff. What a way to kick off season 20 here of the Wednesday Cup. As there we go, he overdoes it off into the bunda. And yeah, these cars proving to be quite the challenge for these drivers, so I think that it'll be even more difficult as the season goes on, as these drivers get into their championship battles and they'll want to push it to the nth degree. They'll need to find every last second of pace, but I think in this car that could mean getting it out sideways a little bit, which could be a little bit uncomfortable for some of these drivers.
Yeah, it could be, but Tommy Corks is very comfortable doing so. We've got to give a showcase to Brendan Hark there, doing donuts in the pits at the moment, because he won it, and fairly and squarely. He'll be a very, very happy camper. And that is a good way to finish off your Wednesday night. P1 in the final stanza out of 3 races here for Brendan Hack, and I believe that's probably his first win as well. If I'm mistaken, I apologise, but a win's a win, and a celebration is a celebration. And boy, oh boy, does that man deserve one. Brendan Hack, congratulations for taking the race 3 by its horns and just leading it with a lot of threat from Colton Atkins. He tried everything that Colton couldn't get past him, but I think everyone here tonight has 100% on the track enjoyed it, and I hope you guys out there in YouTube land have as well. Big thank you to Fabian Fitness, who's just gone bang with a super chat as well, if you don't mind. Thank you very much, Mother for the Rabbits, he says, and he's had a good time tonight as well. He'll probably be right there with the end of it, and a good finish to this one. But Lindsay Muddle, we just have to basically give ourselves a pat on the back, because that was 100% action up and down the field every single race. We nearly ran out of breath, I reckon, 40 times in that whole stanza. That was a cracker. Yeah,
more than 40 times for me, I'll tell you what. I've had too much time off, Zach, from the good old commentary. But yeah, that was a fantastic night of racing, and I'll say thank you for joining me in the commentary box here tonight.
Thank you for hosting as well, and a very, very good effort for yourself. Last minute dash there for you to get it done, and hopefully next time I'll be right there ready for the taking. But it looked great. You were commentating great, and it was fantastic. Thank you as well, Lindsay Muddle. Very, very appreciative. Scotty McEwen says, top call as always, guys. Thank you, Scotty McEwen. Fabian says, well, was there a track on the car? Well, I don't know what he means by that. He's a bit dyslexic tonight. Great Ward's in there as well in the chat as well. New Zealand racing, as always, in there too. Chris Filion in there. Wayne Georgeson having a good old tussle as well. Falzon says, go Fabster and the Butters. So good to have you as well there. Matthias in there. Dino Hanley. Liam Holyoke as well in there too. So thank you to everyone. Shawnee North having a good old listen as well. But beautiful stuff. And it's been a pleasure to call the action with you all tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. But for us here in the commentary box, Lindsay Muddle puts the M in MasterCard as always. Zach O'Reilly is me, and you'll never be. But thank you to our ARI sponsors here, ARD Importing, SDT Driver Training, Bilco Pack, and Speed Nation as well. It's good to have you boys on board. Thank you to that. Thank you to our chatters. Thank you to Fabian for the super chat as well on the YouTube land. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. Been a good one. And thank you to our racers. And it's been a Simsational TV production. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time we're on, tomorrow night, in fact, Rangout will be on the channel racing in their series, so look out for them. Oh, it won't be. Sorry, that's next Thursday. We'll be back on Sunday for the inaugural season of Gen 3 Supercars on iRacing for Aussie Sim Racing. So stick around until then. But for us here at Simsational TV Land, it's good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And as always, keep it flat out.
Simsational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.